Today we're going to talk about how to tune your guitar. There's a lot of different ways to tune your guitar out there these days with different apps. Sometimes it's built into your instrument. This guitar actually has a tuner built into it. Sometimes it's built into your amp. There's pedals, there's clip-ons, there's the internet. What I want to talk about today is the old school way to tune your guitar. When I was learning, we didn't have the internet. And, as long as I could get an E note, then I could tune the rest of the guitar. And that's what I want to teach you to do. I want to teach you to tune the guitar to itself. So no matter what note you're tuned to, hopefully you're right around an E. And I really encourage you to find ways to get to an E. But even if you're right around an E, you can tune the guitar to itself. So it's still going to sound right when you make chords. It may be off a little bit in the key, but it's still going to sound good with itself. And I want to show you the method to do that. First off, let's talk about the strings. We've got an E, an A, a D, a G, a B, and an E. Those are the notes that the strings are making, that the guitar is making when you play them open. You're not touching it. That's supposed to be an E, it's supposed to be an A, D, a G, a B, an E. The common way to remember that is Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. So basically what you want to do is you want to make sure each string is in tune. An E sounds like an E, an A sounds like an A. So that way when you play a chord, everything's where it's supposed to be. First thing you need to do is tune the low E string, the top string, the one that's closest to you. Back in the day, I either had to find a tuner that I could get an E chord from, or a key on a piano, or there were even times when I really didn't have anything with me or any kind of tuner, and I just listened to a song that I knew was in the key of E and how it started, and just played the first time over and over again until I matched that note, and then I knew I had an E. Okay, so I've got an E. Once you have your string tuned to an open E like this, the next string is an A. So how do we tune the A? We know this is an E. Each fret's going to go up a note. E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. Don't worry right now if you don't know all those notes. We're going to go over that. But the fifth fret is an A, okay? So now, if you think about it, if I play an A, and then I play the next string open, and it's supposed to be an A, they should sound the same. So now I know my A string is in tune. If it happened to be under, maybe it's a little out of tune. So what am I going to do? If you want the note to go higher, you need to tighten the string. This is low, so I want to tighten the string up to an A. Is a D. I want the third string to be an open D, so I need to find a D on the A string. A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D. It's the fifth fret again, right there. And I want this string, the third string, to be a D. So I play those two strings together. It's in tune. If it weren't in tune, the next string is a G. Same concept, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G. Fifth fret again. Fifth fret on the third string from the top. On the D string, I'm playing a G note, and I'm playing the next note, which is open G. I'm in tune. Okay, our next string open is a B. So the next one, the fifth string from the top, second from the bottom. That's a B. So we need to find a B on the string above it. Starts with a G, G sharp, A sharp, B. This time it's going to be on the 4th fret. Same thing on the last string, the high E string. This string, the low, the top string, and the bottom string are the same note. They're both E's. That's one way to tune it too. But if this is an open E, string above it, we need to find an E. Started with a B, C, C sharp D, D sharp E. Now we're in tune. If you play a chord, when you learn some chords, it's going to sound like this. You should be able to tell after a while, after you've tuned a lot for yourself and you've learned chords and you get really comfortable with them and what they feel like and sound like, you're going to know when you play it if it's in tune or not. One thing I recommend, especially if your strings are new, these are kind of old and a little dead, but if you have new strings on here, after you tune it, I would go back and tune it, play a little bit, play a little bit, whatever, Play around on it, plunk around on it, play it again, see if your chord's still held. It probably didn't, especially if you have new strings, so you're probably going to want to go tune it again, tune it a couple times. I highly recommend you always tune your guitar before you start to practice, just because you want to learn what the notes really sound like. You want to practice in key. You want to practice, if you pick up a piece of music or you're looking at tab and it says it's in E and your guitar's not really tuned to an E, it's not going to sound right, so you always need to tune. It's just a good habit to get into. A lot of times with guitars, overnight, or if you don't play for a couple of days, the temperature in the room, the humidity in the room, things like that, this is wood and steel, it's pretty organic, so it can kind of move around. So when you pick it up, you may have left it in tune. Pick it back up, it's not in tune anymore. I would get in the habit of tuning it when you start to play and throughout your session. You'll after a while you'll be able to tell when it starts to go out of tune. And that's part of the point of this. Tune it a lot. You'll be able to tell. You'll know when it's going out of tune. One way of training your ear is to tune your guitar frequently. Just wanted to show you the basic way to tune your guitar, so that way if you're at a campfire and you pick up a guitar and you start strumming Wonderwall and you notice it's out of tune, you'll know how to tune it at least to itself. I'll put a link in the description of tuners that I recommend, such as the Fender app. It's really good. You can just do it right there on your phone. Just sit there, play the notes, and you can match the notes. Today I covered how to tune your guitar. Thanks for joining me. Of course, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you know people that are trying to play the guitar or have had a guitar sitting around and always talked about learning to play it, recommend this video to them. I'm starting from scratch, just like we're sitting around jamming out, playing. I'm just going to show you stuff I know how to do. Have a good one.